On the night of September the 9th, drones attacked the Russian city of Sochi. According to the Russian publication Agentstvo Novosti, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin, who arrived before the attack, may have been in the city at the time. Then the governor of Krasnodar Krai, Veniamin Kondratyev, reported that as a result of the UAV attack, one person died, namely the man who was driving the car where the debris from the downed drone landed. According to him, about 6 private houses were also damaged. But it is not clear from statements by officials and media publications where exactly this happened. The media reports that air raid sirens were sounded 3 times over Sochi during the night. Moreover, the city's airport was closed for more than 30 minutes. In just one night, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, the military shot down 2 UAVs over Krasnodar Krai. Another 15 drones were shot down over the Black Sea, 7 over Belgorod Oblast, 3 over Kursk Oblast, 2 over Crimea, and 1 each over Tambov and Voronezh Oblasts, added agency.news. Journalists believe that Putin could have been in Sochi during the attack. Before the shelling, he participated in an extraordinary BRICS meeting via video link from that city. A few hours before this, an IL-96300 of the Russia Flight Squadron with tail number RA-96024 arrived in Sochi. According to Flight Radar 24 data, it was on this plane that the president flew to Alaska to meet with Donald Trump. According to Flight Radar 24 data, the presidential plane is still in Sochi, the statement emphasized. The publication recalled that the Russian dictator's residence, Bucha, is located in Sochi. Previously, Putin could live in the city for weeks, but after Ukrainian drones began flying to Sochi, he almost never visited the city. For example, when he did visit Sochi in November 2024 to give a speech at the Valdai Club, he probably only spent a day in the city and spent the night on the plane, the journalists noted. Earlier, the General Staff reported that on August the 3rd, the Ukrainian armed forces hit the fuel and refueling complex of the Sochi airport. A strong fire broke out on the territory of the facility. It is known that the Russian invaders' army aviation was also stationed at the airfield. The defense forces continue to take all measures to undermine the military-economic potential of the enemy and stop the armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine, the General Staff added. Also, at the end of July, it was reported that Russian Sochi was attacked by drones. At that time, Russian media wrote that the city had been subjected to the largest attack during the entire full-scale war of Russia against Ukraine. The oil depot on Tavricheskaya Street was hit. Please refrain from driving or walking in that area, wrote Dmitry Plishkin, head of the administration of the Federal Territory Sirius.
Israel launched a strike targeting Hamas leadership in Qatar on Tuesday, officials said, further widening its campaign against the militant group as negotiations over ending the war in the Gaza Strip appears stalemated before a new military offensive there. According to Associated Press, black smoke rose over the skyline of the Qatari capital, Doha, with authorities there acknowledging the strike. It wasn't immediately clear if anyone was hurt in the attack, marking the second time the energy-rich nation has been directly attacked in the nearly 2 years of war that have gripped the wider Middle East since Hamas' attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Sana hindi pumani yung kotse. Oh my God!
Pro-Palestinian activists from the organization Palestine Action broke into the offices of Elbit Germany in Ulm and began smashing the premises and equipment. The radicals said they had come to destroy equipment used for genocide in Gaza. The pro-Palestinian activists broke windows, destroyed some office equipment, and painted walls and tables. They filmed their action with cries of F.CKU Elbit system. The Ulm factory, owned by Israel's biggest weapons producer, makes military drone equipment and target acquisition software. The attackers filmed their own exploits. The footage, published online, shows them smashing computers and server equipment with hammers, damaging other equipment, and spray painting furniture and walls. It is noteworthy that the raiders did not consider it necessary to hide their faces. The affected company commented on the incident, stating that Elbit Germany is a German organization that has been a partner of the German Ministry of Defense for many years, helping to protect democracy and freedom in Germany. We strongly condemn the destructive act of vandalism committed at our facility. It is unacceptable that violent groups, apparently influenced by foreign elements, are attempting to disrupt the production process by putting employees in danger and instilling a sense of fear in them, the company said. The organization also believes that the authorities will act quickly to solve the crime and restore law and order. The German branch of Palestine Action appears to have followed in the footsteps of the group's British branch, whose activists have set out to disrupt the country's defense industry linked to Israel, in particular the British branch of the Elbit Corporation. However, the activists do not shy away from damaging historical sites and private property. For example, in April 2024, the group attacked the Somerset Council building, which is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In March 2025, activists entered the territory of a Scottish golf club owned by US President Donald Trump. The vandals covered both the club buildings and the golf course, leaving behind the standard wishes for freedom for the Gaza Strip and Palestine.